Oh, hello everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm going to talk. I don't particularly feel like talking right now, but I do have something to say, so I'm going to talk. And who knows? Who knows how it'll come out? I know from my running days when I used to run that I would go out there and have days where I felt really great and amazing, and I was just sure that I had beaten all my previous records as far as time goes for the distance that I ran. And but then when I get done with my run, I look at the time, it's like, oh, it's just the same as any other day, or maybe it's even less, or maybe I beat it, but just a little bit, So any and all of those, I think I probably experienced. And then there were other days where I felt horrible, and I just knew that I was going to have the worst time ever, And then I would get back, and it was like, oh no, it's just like every other day. It's just like every other run, or it's just like every other day. So you really can't go by feelings, and it's easy. That's one of those things that's easy to say, it's hard to do. And no matter how good you get at it, sliding backwards is so easy, and it can just completely catch you off guard, and you could be doing it without even knowing you're doing it, and then something comes to your attention, or somebody reminds you, or points it out, or whatever, and you're just like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing that again. I thought I had conquered that weakness or that vice, but that's not the way it works, is it? I don't think. I think every time you advance, you never really lose the ability to regress. You probably do, but it's, as I like to say, it's an organic improvement as opposed to mechanical. So you're not like improving like a step ladder, like chink, 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 chink. It's more like one of those curves that has a trend line of up, but there's a lot of ups and downs, around the trend. So you feel like you're going all the way back to where you started sometimes, when in reality, probably not. Perception is, as much as they like to say that it is, in popular culture and politics and just general conversation, as much as they like to say that perception is reality, and as much as it seems like perception is reality, and as much as they try to make perception reality, and that's a deep subject right there with AI and predictive algorithms, predictive programs. They try to make perception reality, So and if they can't do that, then they're going to do everything they can to convince us that perception is reality, So that's like one of those little side alleys that's like a universe unto itself. I mean, you go down that alley, you could be down there for the rest of your life. So anyway, that's a really deep subject. So, like I said, I don't really feel like talking. I just my radiator's leaking. I just had to go get a cash advance at Amscott, so I'm a little bit frustrated, especially because I think I'm the reason the radiator is leaking. It's a long story. I did some work on the car, and I think I accidentally poked a hole in the radiator. I think I used the wrong bolt to attach the fan to the radiator, and the bolt went too far into the whatever you call it, the thread that holds the bolt, onto the radiator, and it went all the way through it. I think because it's leaking exactly from where that bolt attaches to the radiator. So I think it went all the way through. And that's my theory. I hope not. But anyway, so I'm a little bit disoriented, a little bit down because of all that. Plus, I guess just it's getting later in the day, and I'm just getting tired. I just ran some stairs, and just tired. But and a bunch of errands. Errands wear me out worse than any. Errands are like, oh, they're the worst, man. You're going to run 5 or 6 errands, and you're just like completely demoralized. It just takes so much time to go here and then there and there, and I mean, it's just, there's no reason. It doesn't seem like there would be any reason that it would take so much time to do these 5 or 6 small tasks, but it just takes so much time. It's totally demoralizing, But anyway, so what I want to talk about is something that's on my mind, and I don't really want to talk about it because I never do, really, because it's what the world would call negative, and everybody wants to be happy and come riding in on, like my granddaughter would say, I gotta make sure I get this right now, a rainbow sparkle diamond unicorn. I think that's what she likes. That's what she wanted for Christmas this year. A rainbow diamond sparkle uniform. I think I'm forgetting something. There's something else in there, like cotton candy. No, not cotton candy. Something. Anyway, that's close enough. Rainbow. Everybody wants to ride around on a rainbow diamond sparkle unicorn. Because it's happy and it's fun and it's positive and it's But the reality is that we need other types of entrances, don't we? We need other types of people. We need the people that ride the rainbow diamond sparkle unicorns. We need those people. We need the dreamers. We need the happy, the people that look at a 500 car pile up and only see the cars that are not really damaged, and the people that didn't get hurt, and that's the only thing they see. We need those kind of people, to remind us of all the overwhelming happiness and goodness that there is in the world, and there is. It is all there. But we also need people that see the problems, and we need the people that solve the problems. We need all kinds of people, and I guess we need people who can be a little bit of all of that, but we also need people who are more dedicated and sort of unit purpose. We need multi-purpose people, but we kind of need unit-purpose people too, right? I mean, it's like tools. You need vice grips and duct tape and WD-40. You need things that can do 1,000 things. I mean, those things are amazing. Everybody loves those things. But there are some things, some tasks that, none of those multi-purpose tools can do anything for, right? So you need a specialized tool that can only do that one thing. When you encounter that task and you find out that there's a tool for that, and you after slaving away at it for hours and days and weeks and months, and sometimes, like I have, like the clutch on my Saab, for example, they put the engines and the Saabs, they put them in backwards because Saab was, before it was a car company, it was an airplane company. So the clutch is in the front. But the way the clutch is designed, it's like, it's really hard to take apart unless you have the tool. And the tool is like a $19 tool, and it's ridiculously simple, but there's nothing that can replace it. People try to replace it with pennies and all kinds of homemade, and I guess, you can do that, and it works for some, but there's nothing like that tool. I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, it turns an 8-hour job into a 2-minute job, literally. So yeah, so we need all kinds of people, So unfortunately, I'm not coming at you on a rainbow sparkle diamond unicorn, you know. I'm coming at you on like a, you know, I don't want to make myself sound like a tough guy because I'm really not tough, but I'm coming at you on like a war horse. Or maybe you could say I'm coming at you on like a workhorse, you know, like a horse that nobody looks at and says, man, I need a horse like that. You know, maybe that would be a more apt metaphor, you know. But it's a horse that has a purpose, you know. And so that's it, you know, that's it. Basically, you know, I have a mind, you know, and I only have one mind. And it's fragmented, you know, my mind is fragmented. It's multi-directional. It's not as focused as probably it should be. But you know, it is my mind. It is what it is. And I don't think that God has called me, or you for that matter, you know, to curl up into a little ball and go find a hole in the ground to insert ourselves into and pull dirt or leaves or sticks over ourselves and just lay there and make whimpering sounds like a furry little forest animal. I don't think that's what God has called us to. I think that God has given us, if He has given us a mind, which He is, obviously, if He's given us the ability to think, if He's given us the ability to speak, if He's given us the ability to feel, and if He's given us the ability to synthesize or weave all of that together and produce a result, you know, then I think that He's called us all to share that result with whoever cares to listen, you know. That's what I think. So regardless if it's pretty, if it's sparkly, if it's rainbow colored, or if it's, you know, earth tone, black, brown, and green, or whatever, you know, whatever metaphor works, you know. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just sharing I'm just exposing my mind to the world. You know, sunlight cures a lot of illness. You know, so I'm opening my mind to the world. You can look at it that way. And some people will disagree. Yeah, that needs to be cured, or no, that doesn't need to be cured. That's actually good. You know, you need to build on that. You need to embrace that and build on, you know, whatever. And people are going to disagree, and that's fine. You know, that's all part of the product. That is what I mean by organic development. You know, it's not exactly, you know, I mean, in the labs they try to put their fingers and their graphs and their instruments exactly on what life is, and exactly on what growth and development is, exactly what nutrition is, you know, and they end up with all this GMO stuff and all this, you know, vitamin enriched stuff, but it's not organic, it's not natural, it's not, and as a consequence it's not healthy, and people are running from it, like, you know, with almost like a spirit of terror. Like this is like horror. It's like a horror film. All of this fake food and all this inorganic plastic fakeness. But you know, they're just going to keep pushing in that direction. But that's another issue. So my mind on a particular subject is you know, church. My mind is on my church, First Baptist Church, St. Petersburg, and on my minister, Glenn Money. My mind is on this guest preacher that he had, and it's just you know, it's just a travesty. I mean, I don't know what else to say, you know. I mean, none of these preachers, I can't say none, but, you know, a large percentage of these, they're just not doing their jobs, you know. I don't know what they're doing, but they're not doing their jobs, and my car's running really rough, and I don't know why. But anyway, you know, because as far as I know, maybe somebody can educate me. A preacher's job in a Christian church, you know, in a Muslim mosque, it's different, obviously. In a Jewish temple, it's different, obviously. In a Unitarian church, Unitarian Universalist church, it's different, obviously. You know, so I'm talking about, I mean, this stuff is so ridiculously obvious. It's just, it's dumbfounding. It really is. I don't know another word to describe it that's more apt than dumbfounding. It's just dumbfounding. It's like, this is obvious. That what is happening here is not what's supposed to be happening here. you know? And it's like bait and switch. It's like doublespeak. It's like some kind of trickery. It's like, you know what? So let me get to all that, because obviously that makes no sense without context. You know, Glenn Money comes out of the chute in his new job with all this politically correct nonsense, which, okay, so this is where my frustration begins. It's like, I don't go to church to hear, okay, again, Christian church, right? I don't go to church to hear the weekly lineup of pundits and comedians and clowns on TV. I don't go to church to hear what they had to say during the week, regurgitated and vomited back up on me again. You know, I don't go to church to hear political correctness, and I don't go to church to hear political incorrectness. I don't go to church to hear political anything, really. I mean, that's just not why I go to. When I go to church and I hear that, it's just like, what you know, to me, it's like going to a donut shop and the only thing they have to offer are, you know, like bottles of automobile oil and flip-flops. It's like, this makes no sense, you know? What the heck is going on here? You know? I mean, if you want to say your opinion, I mean, obviously preachers are humans just like anybody. If you want to say your opinion, then say your opinion. That's fine, you know? But just make it your opinion. Don't make it confusing like, oh no, I'm a preacher and I'm speaking in the authority of this church and in the authority of the title of my job, and this is God's truth. It's like, no, that's your opinion on some petty political issue, you know? And a petty political issue, let's just go down with some examples. Some petty political issue is like, homosexuality is wonderful. Well, I mean, everybody knows that's a political issue. I mean, so... and everybody all week long, all the entertainers, all the sitcoms, all the commercials now, all the political pundits, all the comedians, all the clowns, everybody's extolling the wonders of homosexuality, and it's like, okay, fine, this is the way culture's going. Okay, fine. I don't go to church to have all that regurgitated back up on me again. It's like, no, I mean, if you want to find in the Bible where it says homosexuality is wonderful, then fine, do that. Go find it and then explain it. Because that's your job, to explain God as revealed through the Bible and as revealed through the incarnation of Jesus Christ. You know, that's your job. Do your job. Okay, but just to stand up there and to get all like emotionally involved and dogmatic and like, you know, like, I think what Glenn Money had to say about it was stop the hate. It's like, no, there's no hate. This is an issue. Hate is when you're mean to somebody. Hate is when somebody needs you and you refuse to be there, like, because even though you can, you know, that's hatred is not the same as disagreeing, you know? I mean, I'm a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant Christian fundamentalist. I mean, if anybody knows about hate, it's me and every other white Anglo-Saxon Protestant Christian fundamentalist, because we get blamed for everything, you know. And it's just funny because it's so absurd. So it's not really an issue now. I mean, it's an issue for the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant Christian fundamentalists in South Africa, because they're crucifying. Literally, they crucified like a little 2-year-old girl on the kitchen table. They raped the wife. They killed the father. They seized the property. You know, so I mean, for them, it's an issue, right? And that's I mean, really, we should be standing up for those people, but that's another issue. Okay, that's a political issue. I mean, to me, that's a political. And if you want to have an opinion on that, I mean, then feel free, go ahead. But again, you know, to me, that would be something you could legitimately, arguably say that this is a moral/political issue. How would you put the words moral and political together? Mora political, you know, I don't know. Political, moral, you know, how they put words together like biopsychosis or psychobiological, or, you know, whatever, physiobiological, whatever. You know, they put words together sometimes when an issue involves two different spheres of interest and study. So anyway, to me, I mean, people having their property seized and having their family members literally crucified and raped and mutilated and, you know, whatever. I mean, to me, that's, you know, whatever. But they don't care about that. Okay, and that's happening right now. But they care about extolling the virtues of homosexuality. You know, I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, but if that's your opinion, then fine. Say that's my opinion. This is a political issue. That's my opinion, and then move on. You know, or let's see, what's another one? We need to allow every immigrant into the country without any type of oversight or review. Because these immigrants are Middle Eastern and Jesus was Middle Eastern. So if we don't let these people in, that's the same as not letting Jesus come in, you know, and it's just like, really? Okay. All right. Well, I mean, and that's something that has been floated as well. Or obviously the, how do you say, like the coup de grace, the really big hot potato. White people are evil. I'm sorry, this stuff is so absurd. I mean, I don't know what to say except laugh. It's just like, I mean, I don't know what to do except laugh. It's just ridiculous. White people calling white people evil. I mean, this is like, talk about comedy and clown. It's just like, wow. If I saw a Chinese person saying that Chinese people are evil, I would just be like, you know, hey, buddy, come here. You know, sit down here. You know, you need to take a break. You've been out in the sun too long. You know? I mean, there is no nationality. You know, there's no nationality. There's no, you know, people group. There's no nobody that has not committed some atrocity against some other people group at some point in history. Now, you could go out to the middle of the Polynesian islands and find some isolated, remote tribe. You know, I mean, right? I mean, but how far are you going to go to try to like push and press and sell? And this really is a selling type of an activity. They're selling, they're pushing this, they're promoting this, division, this divide impera, you know, divide and conquer. They're, you know, and it's just so blatantly, ridiculously, laughably, clown-like obvious what's going on. But because they have title and status and they think they're pillars of the community, and it's like they think that they're just, you know, unassailable or untouchable. And it's just like, come on, seriously. I mean, how far are you going to push this stuff? Because if you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. It's just, but whatever it is, it's not good, you know. So there's the white people are evil. There's the, and this is, there's the, you got to look out for the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan. Like, I have never in my life known anybody in the Ku Klux Klan. I've never seen an actual, you know, convincing report on anything involving the Ku Klux Klan that appeared to be, had any appearance of being anything of concern. I mean, the Ku Klux Klan became politically and culturally irrelevant, like, what, 50 years ago? I mean, there's 2 generations of people that weren't even alive when the Ku Klux Klan was culturally and politically relevant. And when they were all in the South, and they were all Democrat-based, you know, terrorism activities of blacks and Republicans. I mean, and it's always the Democrats running around screaming about the Ku Klux Klan like we've got to be afraid of the Ku Klux Klan, because if we're not, we're all going to get run over and chewed up by the Ku Klux Klan. Like, what the heck is going on? I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know what to say. It's just, it's hilarious. It's absurd. It's clown-like. And you know, it just really makes you wonder, what the heck is going on here? I mean, how can something so absurd be run up the flagpole like this? I mean, what are you trying to distract us from? You know, because you're like, really, really, really bad magicians, you know, because a magician is somebody who distracts you with his left hand while he's doing something really amazing with his right hand that's going to blow your mind, and you know, when you see the effect of it, but you're not going to see it being done, because that's the whole point of the distraction, you know. It's like, what are you trying to distract us from with this absurd theatrical showmanship? What exactly are we not supposed to be paying attention to, you know? And why are you in the business of distracting us, you know, with this absurd? And so this last guy, look, here's the thing. You know, if I went to work, and I'm a software engineer, if I went to work and I pulled out my red and yellow and green and blue and what's another color? Red, yellow, green, blue, orange, you know, Play-Doh set, and sat at my desk and started making Play-Doh figurines, you know, that wouldn't go over too well. You know, I don't think I would really last a day without somebody intervening and saying, hey, you know, what are you doing? You know, you're supposed to be doing your job. Well, what is it with these preachers that come around and they think their job is to, number one, like this last guy, tell jokes? And, you know, I love jokes, and he was really funny, and he had some good jokes, and I laughed, and I love to laugh, and, you know, so that's all wonderful. You know, I mean, I'm grateful for that. But tell jokes, and then talk about the Ku Klux Klan. Is that a joke, too? That is... You know, you're telling a joke, but you're not telling anybody it's a joke. It's like an inside joke. I mean, okay, you're talking about the Ku Klux Klan, and you're talking about pop culture, public, you know, figures, you know. We had this leadership meeting with this guy, and God is my witness, honestly. This is what it sounded like to me. You know, like, first of all, why did the chicken cross the road? Oh! Because you want to get to, you know, whatever the joke is. You know, I can't think of a good joke at the moment, but I remember one joke. It was, you know, I'm at the gym working out, and I asked the guy, I saw these beautiful young women, and I asked him, what machine should I go stand by to make the best impression? And the trainer told me go stand by the ATM machine. Okay, that was pretty funny. I mean, you could make the argument that it's sexist and impolitic. Right? I mean, you really could. Is that all women are interested in is money? Hey, you want me to be... Between you and me, I have known some women like that. Not all women are like that, but I have known some like that. Okay, but I have known a man or two who had the same basic attitude. And when that guy started talking like that, I was just stunned. I was like, what? I was like, dude, what in the heck are you talking about? I mean, he just wanted to find a rich woman. That was his whole objective in life. I was just looking at him. I was like, what? What is wrong with you, man? Anyway, maybe he knows something I don't know. Maybe he's actually onto something there. I don't know. But I hope he did well for himself. But I don't get it. But anyway, so that was actually one joke, and it was pretty funny. You know, I mean, like I said, it could be a little... that's a rare example of political incorrectness, right? I mean, it's politically incorrect. It's sexist. But anyway, so, you know, the obligatory joke, and then it was like this. This is what I heard. God is my witness. It's basically what I heard. Bobby Bowden, 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 and me and Bobby Bowden, and Bobby Bowden, and me and Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Jesus, Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, and Christianity, and Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, and me and my amazing life, and I've had such an amazing life, and Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Christian, Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Jesus. That's what it sounded like. And, you know, it was good talk, you know. I mean, it was good. But, you know, here's the thing, you know. I don't go to church to hear about football and Bobby Bowden, right? I mean, I just don't. We've got a big old giant fat book like this with about 1,000 people in it that God deemed fit to have their lives written about to carry on and to pass down to future generations, all right? I had to go to church, and I expect to hear something sounds more like Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, God, the Lord, Jesus Christ, God, the Lord, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Matthew, Mark, Luke, Luke, Matthew, Mark, Luke, Paul, Jesus Christ, God, you know, Bobby Bowden, all right, Jesus Christ, the Lord, God, Israel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Matthew, Mark, Luke, Paul.